Most advice on Roth versus traditional 401k boils down to one sentence: choose Roth if taxes will be higher later. That sentence is technically correct and almost completely useless. If you're in the 24% bracket, the math is closer than you think, and two variables tip it decisively in one direction. This video gives you the actual numbers, the actual decision framework, and the answer for the scenario that covers most high earners. Both accounts have the same contribution limit, $24,500 in 2026. The difference is entirely about when you pay taxes. A traditional 401k contribution reduces your taxable income today. At 24%, every dollar you contribute saves you 24 cents in federal taxes right now. The money grows tax-deferred. When you withdraw in retirement, every dollar comes out as ordinary income, taxed at whatever rate applies then. A Roth 401k contribution gets no deduction. You pay the 24% now. The money grows exactly the same way. When you withdraw in retirement, every dollar, contributions, and all the growth comes out completely tax-free. No ordinary income, no capital gains, nothing. The break-even is mathematical. If your marginal rate in retirement equals your marginal rate today, both 24%, the outcomes are almost identical. Traditional saves you money now, but costs you money later. Roth costs you money now, but saves you money later. Same dollars, different timing. One thing changed this calculus permanently in 2025. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act made the TCJA tax rates permanent. The 7-bracket structure, including the 24% bracket, is no longer set to expire. The threatened return to a 39.6% top rate is off the table. Tax rate uncertainty, which used to be the strongest argument for Roth, just got a lot smaller. The decision looks different depending on your specific situation. Here are the 5 variables that matter. State tax migration. If you're working in California, New York, or New Jersey and plan to retire in Florida, Texas, or Nevada, the traditional 401k wins by a wide margin. You're deducting contributions at a combined rate of 35% or more today, and withdrawing in retirement at a federal-only rate. That's a 10 to 13 percentage point advantage, not a close call. Projected retirement income. This is where most analysis fails. A large traditional 401k balance forces required minimum distributions starting at age 73. If your RMDs, combined with Social Security and other income, push you into the 22 or 24% bracket anyway, you haven't actually deferred taxes, you've just delayed paying them at the same rate. Run the RMD math before you decide. Career trajectory. If you're early or mid-career and expect your income to climb into the 32% bracket within a few years, locking in the 24% rate via Roth right now is the better trade. You're paying less than you'll owe later. Tax diversification. If your entire retirement savings is in traditional accounts, you have no flexibility to manage brackets in retirement. You're forced to take every dollar as ordinary income. Having some Roth balance gives you the option to fill lower brackets with traditional withdrawals and cover the rest with tax-free Roth money. Catch-up contributions if you're over 50. If you earned $150,000 or more in FICA wages in 2025, the IRS requires your 2026 catch-up contributions to be Roth. You don't have a choice. That rule quietly makes the decision for a lot of high earners. Let's run the numbers exactly. Start with the 2026 contribution limit, $24,500. Same amount whether you choose traditional or Roth. The only difference is whether those dollars go in pre-tax or after-tax. Invest $24,500 per year for 20 years at 7%. Future value, $1,004,390. That gross number is identical for both accounts. Same contribution, same rate, same time. The accounts are perfectly parallel up to this point. Now the traditional side. At withdrawal, you owe income tax on the full balance. At 24%, that's $241,054 in taxes. Net after tax, $763,337. But traditional gave you a tax break up front. 24% of $24,500 equals $5,880 per year. If you invested those savings at 7% for 20 years, they grow to $241,000. After 15% long-term capital gains tax on the growth, you net roughly $222,536. Traditional total, $763,000 plus $222,000, about $986,000. The Roth side is simpler. $1,004,390, zero taxes at withdrawal. That's your number. Roth advantage when the rate in equals the rate out. About $18,500, less than 2% of the total. Effectively, a wash. The conclusion, at 24%, the decision is not about which account performs better. They perform nearly identically when your rate doesn't change. The decision is about the variables that change your rate, and those are state taxes, RMDs, and career trajectory. Six inputs to lock in before you make the election. First, estimate your retirement marginal rate. Add up your projected Social Security, any pension, and the required minimum distributions your current traditional balance will generate at age 73. If that income pushes you into 22% or higher, Roth now is defensible. If it stays in the 12% bracket, traditional wins clearly. Second, look at your state. Find your current state's top marginal rate. Find the rate in your target retirement state. If the gap is more than 5 percentage points, that gap should dominate the decision. Traditional for high tax now, low tax later situations. Third, check your existing account mix. Pull your current 401k balance. What percentage is traditional versus Roth? If you have no Roth assets at all, contributing some Roth now, even at 24%, is a diversification argument, not a pure rate argument. Fourth, if you're 50 or older, check your FICA wages from last year. If they were $150,000 or more, your catch-up contributions are mandatorily Roth in 2026. Your plan administrator should flag this, but verify. Fifth, consider a split. Most 401k plans let you split contributions between traditional and Roth in any ratio. If you're genuinely uncertain, 50-50 is a defensible default. You're hedging against rate uncertainty without committing entirely to either bet. Sixth, revisit annually. This is an annual election, not a permanent decision. If your income jumps to the 32% bracket next year, shift to traditional. If you move states, recalculate. The decision should track your situation, not sit on autopilot. 5 framing errors that lead to the wrong answer. 1. Using your effective rate instead of your marginal rate. Your effective rate, total taxes divided by total income, is lower than your marginal rate. But the Roth versus traditional decision is about the rate on the last dollar in and the last dollar out. A 24% marginal rate earner with an 18% effective rate should still use 24% in this calculation, not 18%. 2. Ignoring RMDs entirely. This is the most consequential mistake. If you're 35, aggressively funding a traditional 401k and projecting a $2 million balance at retirement, you'll be forced to take approximately $75,000 per year out at age 73, whether you need it or not. That income, stacked on Social Security, often lands people in the same bracket they were trying to avoid. 3. Assuming retirement income is always lower. It's a reasonable assumption for many people. It is not a safe assumption for high earners with large account balances. Social Security alone can be $40,000 per year for a high earner. Add RMDs, investment income, and part-time work. The lower bracket in retirement story breaks down. 4. Forgetting state tax migration in the calculation. This one cuts both ways. If you're in a no-income tax state now and might retire in one with an income tax, traditional's advantage shrinks. If you're in a high-tax state now and planning to retire in Florida or Texas, traditional wins by more than most people model. 5. Treating this as permanent and irreversible. Some people agonize over this decision as if it can't be changed. It can be changed every year during open enrollment. Make the best call given your current situation, review it annually, and adjust as your income and retirement picture evolve. At the 24% bracket, traditional and Roth 401k produce nearly identical outcomes when your rate doesn't change. The decision is really about two things. Will you retire in a lower tax state? And will your RMDs force you into the same bracket anyway? Run those two numbers. They'll tell you most of what you need to know. Next week, the HSA, the account that beats both Roth and traditional on pure tax efficiency. Subscribe so you don't miss it.